So please listen to it very carefully. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udhiraye Nastaprayesu Abhadresu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Guruve Gaur Chandraya Sri Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadabhaktaya Namo Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Krupa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna, everyone who has joined the Srimad Bhagavatam story class this morning. So, as I mentioned, we are beginning chapter 3 of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, which is entitled Krishna is the source of all incarnations. And today's topic is the appearance of Purus Avatara. We will learn about how Lord Krishna creates this material world. So this chapter describes in more detail Lord Vishnu's or Lord Krishna's role in the universe. So here we see from this chapter that Sri Krishna maintains these material universes by extending his plenary expansions. Plenary means complete, full, like that. So he expands like from one to another, which we're going to see it. So Suta Goswami describes how Lord Krishna, taking the form of Vishnu's, which is Purus Avataras, creates these material universes. So first of all, we have to know that there are three Purus features in material creation. Okay, so one of them is Karunaksai Vishnu. You can see that in your slide. He is also called as Mahavishnu, and he is sleeping there in Karana ocean, okay, glanced over material sky and created multiple universes. So we'll see how that happens. Second Purusha avatar is Garbhodaksai Vishnu, and third one is Kshirodaksai Vishnu. These are a technical term, but the Karunodaksai Vishnu, which you see in your slide right now. Now, with this information, we will discuss the creation of material universes. So, what happened one day, Lord Krishna in the spiritual world, which is far, far away from here, Lord Krishna did something very, very spectacular. And let's listen what he did. He expanded himself into another person, and that is Balaram. His immediate expansion is Balaram, his brother. And then from Balaram, there was a Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Niruddhana, Vasudeva, like that. So from that Sankarshan, there was a second Sankarshan. And from second Sankarshan, you will see this Mahavishnu or Karunodaksai Vishnu has taken the form. This form of Krishna had four hands, as you can see in the slide. You see the 1, 2, 3, 4 hands. In his hands, he is holding conchal, which we use during deity worship, to blow. We call it also Sankha, conchal. You may have seen it probably, which we blow it before the Aarti ceremony starts in the temple room. The second hand, he is holding Sudarshan Chakra, which is round, It is his ultimate weapon. And in the third, he holding the mace. And in the fourth, he's holding the lotus flower. So you all can see also he's wearing yellow dhoti, flower garland, long flower garland, and crown you can see on his head with peacock feather on top, okay? And other ornaments as well, like he's wearing a necklace, earring, something in his hand like bangles and other thing. Also anklets. So he's full-fledged decorated. And he's sleeping very peacefully. You can see that. Okay. So now he desires to lie down somewhere to meditate. So he looked around the spiritual world and saw the Karan ocean, Karan cause, Karan ocean. Okay. So he thought this is a very nice place for my meditation. So he lay down on the waters of the Karan ocean. He then half closed his eyes. It is completely closed, some may get sleep, and if it is open, he will not be able to meditate on it. So normally, yogis also in the material world, also when they want to do following the 8-step process, which is known as Yam Niyam Asana, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi, like that. Many yogis do that. They follow these 8 steps yogic process, and they also keep the eyes half closed. Only reason given is that because if it is completely closed, there is a chance of getting getting sleep. And then if it is completely open, then because of the sense object is in front of you, you won't be able to meditate on the subject matter that you want to meditate on, like that. So while lying on the Karan ocean, now this Mahavishnu saw a tiny cloud in a corner of spiritual world. Now this cloud was the material sky, and just by his glance, immediately ingredients for the material world were created. So this is very amazing that Lord creates through his glance. So we can understand the potency of Mahavishnu's glance. In fact, it is described in the scripture in Brahma Samhita that Lord can use his senses interchangeably. What that means he can also eat with his eyes. He can also hear with his eyes, like that. So the function that what we do with eyes only we can see, with ear we only can hear, with mouth only we can eat, like that. But as far as Krishna's or Mahavishnu's senses are concerned, their senses can perform of other senses work also. So that is very miracle thing that you can think of. And from this glancing, many universes form like bubbles. You can see in this slide. There are big bubbles, small bubbles, So, and these bubbles came out of his skin holes and rested on his body. But we have to remember that his body always stays spiritual. Okay, it never becomes material like the universe bubble that you can see there. His body always stays spiritual. Spiritual means his form, his body is made up of Sat, Chit, and Ananda. These are Sanskrit words, but Sat means eternal, means always there. Okay, chit means knowledge, full of knowledge, and bliss means ananda, very happy state. So that is his swarup. Swarup means that is his form of Lord, that he always stays spiritual. Now, isn't that this is very exciting to see the form that we see in the slide here? All those universes, which can be millions of those, okay, they rest on the spiritual body of Mahavishnu or Karanodakshai Vishnu. We can see this if we can make our eyes anointed with Premanjan. Right now, our eyes are sort of a material eyes. We cannot be able to see. But the Shastra says that if we can use a love of Godhead, Anjan, like Premanjan, mascara of love of God, then we will be able to see him. And Sutta Goswami had told the sages at Naimisaranya that this was possible if we lovingly serve Lord Krishna and become his pure devotees. Then we will get the spiritual eyes to see also. Just like I'll give you an example. Lord Krishna is giving spiritual eyes to Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita. It is stated in 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, if somebody knows about Bhagavad Gita, because Arjun wanted to see this, the universal form of Krishna. But Krishna says that you will not be able to see with this material eyes. So he gives him Divya Chaksu. Divya means transcendental eyes, or you can say spiritual eyes to see the universal form. That was another example also that was given to Sanjaya, who was the secretary of Dhritarashtra, and Vyasdev wanted to give, the war hasn't begun, so Vyasdev wanted to give that vision to Dhritarashtra because Dhritarashtra was born blind. So Vyasdev was thinking that he may want to see what is happening in the battle of Kurukshetra. So his desire is to give that spiritual eyes to Dhritarashtra. But instead, Dhritarashtra said to Vyasdev that please give it to my secretary Sanjaya, then he will describe it to me what is happening in the battle of Kurukshetra. So we see here two examples of the spiritual eyes that Krishna gave Arjuna to see his universal form, and Vyasdev has given to Sanjaya so he can narrate what is happening in the battle of Kurukshetra to Dhritarashtra. Also, there are some pastimes like Dhruv Maharaj. He has also seen the Lord, with his eyes. So, because Lord has given him, not only given him that, but Dhruv was only 5 years old. So, how can he pray God? So, also God give him an intelligence so he can speak. So, Dhruv Maharaj at age of 5 years started speaking prayers and glorifying the Lord. That happens. It's also happened to another instance that we will learn in Shrimad Bhagvatam when we go to the 8th canto. Elephant Gajendra also has seen the Lord face to face. So you may also remember what we discussed in the previous chapter regarding how we can please God, right? We learn about the way to please the Lord is by hearing about him, by chanting his name and glories, by worshipping him, by remembering him, etc. Also, we learn about by serving the servant of God, which means taking association of pure devotees and hearing Krishna Katha from him and serving him. And the best example we have is Srila Prabhupada. He has demonstrated that how he was able to serve the saintly people, sadhus, when they came, and his mother was serving, and he also got a chance to serve them. Not only that, he got a chance to also taste the remnants of those sadhus, means the food left by them. And that is why he was also spiritualized, by, even though he was a boy at that time, Narad Muni. So we'll learn more about Narad Muni in this same episode in chapter 4, 5, and 6 also. But at this point, I just want to make one point that by hearing and associating with the sadhus, you can develop that kind of chaksus also, like spiritual eyes. Now, continuing in the process of creation, Sutta Goswami further explains that Mahavishnu then uh, entered each of these universe bubble that you see as Garbhodaksai Vishnu. As you can see in that bubble, which we will see in the next slide in a larger or expanded, enlarged view of that same form. So that Karan Vishnu enters as a Garbhodaksai Vishnu here, shown in the second slide, which is very amazing to see, isn't it? What is he doing there? He is lying down there on the bed of serpent, and the hoods above him, above his head, you can see. And the Lakshmi, his wife, is massaging his lotus feet. Now, in the beginning, when Karanadaksai Vishnu entered to that bubble like universe, there was nothing. These universes are just filled with darkness and space, So he was looking for a resting place. He looked around and did not find any. So there is no resting place. So immediately what he did, he filled each of these universe halfway with water, as you can see here, with his own perspiration, which became an ocean. And that ocean is called Garbhodak Ocean. The other ocean was Karan Ocean, and this one is Garbhodak Ocean. So he thought this is a very nice place, like a water bed, right? He's sleeping on a water, on a serpent bed, which is on water. So he lay down on the waters of the Garbhodak Ocean. And at that very moment, a long stem, okay, began to sprout from his navel, which you can see here. And a beautiful lotus flower grew at the top of the stem. And among the petals of lotus flower, you can see Lord Brahma, four-headed Lord Brahma. That is the Brahma of our universe that we live in. He is master engineer, creator of the universe, was born there on that lotus flower. He was the first living entity in the universe. Now, using Lord Krishna's ingredient and power. See, Lord Krishna provides the basic ingredients, the basic things that is required for creation, and also the power or intelligence also given by Krishna, to Brahma. And that's why Brahma, for this becomes universe, in this universe, he becomes secondary creator. Lord Krishna is the primary creator. But the ingredients and intelligence given by Lord Krishna, Lord Brahma will be able to create this universe, so many things. So now then this creation is maintained by third Vishnu form, okay, which is Kshirodaksai. That Kshirodaksai Vishnu is indestructible, means it will never destroy, and it will become the source of all incarnations. That is what we're going to learn from tomorrow. And it is not destroyed like, if you take a seed of a plant or a tree, okay, so when the plant or tree fructifies, the seed will destroy. But that will not happen here in the Kshirodaksai, which is the eternal seed, indestructible seed, like that. So now he enters as a Kshirodakshai Vishnu. Krishna enters every living entity, including us, and even every atom as Paramatma. Paramatma means super soul. So now Kshirodakshai Vishnu as a super soul form enters everywhere. So we see him in every atom, we see him in every living entity, we see him in human being, in bird, in elephant, everywhere like that. So now then the question is, what does he do as a super soul? You know, so the Bhagavad Gita informs us that he acts as a witness and permitter. You know, what is witness and permitter means? Whatever function we do, he gives us permission to do, and whatever we do, he also witnesses it, watches it, what we are doing. And without the sanction of the supreme soul, individual soul means like us, we cannot do any function. So he watches all our activities and guides us. So Lord Krishna also in Bhagavad Gita mentions that he says that I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. So living entity, as we know, as soon as takes birth, forgets everything of his past life. But he has to act according to the direction of the super soul. And he begins his work according to his past activities that he performed in the previous lives. And we experience that day to day. For example, at night we sleep, but in the morning, during the night when we sleep, we don't know actually, we forgot everything. But as soon as we wake up in the morning, that is also by the mercy of his. If some people has to leave the body, they will not even wake up. They will die in sleep. But when we wake up, that is also his mercy. And when we wake up, he will remind us what to do next. We may have forgotten everything in our sleep, but then next day he will remind us what to do. So that is our day-to-day experience. So similarly, he also reminds us our past life's results, that what we have done in our past lives. So thus, super soul supplies required knowledge, remembrance, and forgetfulness about our past life as well. Now, after changing bodies, the living entities forget his past activities. But the super soul, as the knower of the past, present, and future, this is what we have to remember, that Kshirodakshaya Vishnu as a super soul form, he remembers past, present, and future. So, and that's why he remains the witness of all his activities. Therefore, all the activities of living entities are directed by the super soul. The living entity gets what he deserves and is carried by the material body, which is created in the material energy under the direction of the super soul. So now we can see the living entity is not independent. One should not think himself independent of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. The individual soul is always under the Lord's direction. Therefore, one's duty is to surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is situated in everyone's heart, and that will relieve him from all kinds of miseries of this material existence. So, some may ask, what are the material miseries of this material world? So, these miseries are also given in our scripture. They are mainly three categories. There are technical names, but I will explain them. One of them is Adhyatmik, the second one is Adi Bhautik, and the third one is Adi Daivik. So, what is Adhyatmik means? Adhyatmik means the miseries related to our body and mind. Means we get disease sometimes, right? We will not have all the time, healthy body. Sometimes we get disease. Sometimes we get fever, sometimes we get cold, like that. And sometimes some problem with our mind also. Because of the mind, we get miseries, Sometimes we get despondent, sometimes we get angry, sometimes we get envious, to someone. So these are all the miseries of mind. So related to body and mind, there are some miseries, Now, Adi Bhautik means they are caused by other living entity. It can be caused by our neighbor, it could be caused by some unknown person, it can be caused by some other living entity like serpent or tiger or lion. They are like, anybody can give us misery like that. And Adi Daivik, it means that misery is given by nature, means by Lord's external energy, which is like we see sometimes we get hurricane, sometimes we get earthquake, sometimes we get windstorm. So all these are like natural disasters, So these are the calamities given by nature. Therefore, by surrendering to the Supreme Lord, not only will one be released from all miserable in this life, but at the end of life, we will go to the spiritual planet from where one will not come back to this material world, as promised by Sri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita also. He says that, na sasanko na pavakaha, yad gatva nivartante taddam paramam mama. He says one who goes there will not come back to this material world. So, it is also mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita that material world is created at certain interval and then again destroyed. We learned that like Brahma is creator, Vishnu is maintainer, and Lord Shiva is destroyer, through his Tandam Nrutya. So this creation and destruction is done by the supreme will of the Lord for the conditioned souls. Thus the chance to enjoy matter is given to the conditioned soul in the material world, and side by side, they are given the chance to understand the real constitutional position also. What is our constitutional position? Means eternal position. Our eternal position is that we are the servant of Krishna and Krishna is the master, and we have to follow his direction. That is basically our constitutional or eternal position. So only fortunate living entity surrender unto the lotus feet of Krishna and go back home, back to Godhead. So that is about the creation today that we have learned. At the end, I would like to recite one song made about Mahavishnu regarding this creation. So I'll just recite that Mahavishnu song so you can listen it very carefully. Okay, here it goes. My name is Mahavishnu. I am lying down in the Karana ocean with a disc and crown, lotus conch and golden mace, sleeping soundly in outer space. Universe bubbles come from my skin. I create the worlds to read souls from sin. From me comes Garbhodaksai Vishnu. From his navel a lotus grew. Lord Brahma was born from there, approaching the Lord with humble prayer to give him the power to create man and demigod, small and great. Lakshmi Devi takes her seat at his transcendental feet. Kshirodaksai Vishnu then appears to enter the universal spheres. Every single atom he then pervades as the supersoul at everyone's aid. So these are the Vishnu 1, 2, 3. Krishna explains to set us free. Thank you very much. So we'll end here and take your questions or comments. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for wonderful class. So I request to participant, please raise your hands if you have question. So we will take one by one. So the first one is Vedant. Okay, Vedant is not here. Okay, the first one is Krish. Krish, please unmute yourself.
What is the difference between Bhagavad Gita and Shrimad Bhagavatam?
What is it? I didn't get the first part. Can you repeat it again? What is difference between Bhagavad? Is that what you're saying? Hare Krishna. Mataji, I didn't hear the question.
Can you repeat it again?
Maybe you have to unmute and ask.
Krish, can you please unmute yourself? Okay. So we will take another one. Jagdish, please unmute yourself.
Yeah, now we can ask.
Sorry, I wasn't able to unmute myself. My question was, what is the difference between Shrimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita?
Yes, we already discussed that before, but I will tell you. Bhagavad Gita is spoken by Krishna himself to Arjuna at the time of battle between Kaurav and Pandavas in the Kurukshetra field. And Srimad Bhagavatam is written or compiled by Vyasadeva. Also, Bhagavad Gita is written by Vyasadeva, but Srimad Bhagavatam is compilation of Srila Vyasadev's Krishna's pastimes with his devotees, which describes Krishna's Nam Rup Gun Leela, the glories of his name, his beauty, his pastimes, and his qualities. Okay?
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Right. The next one is Jagdish. Jagdish, please unmute yourself.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
How did the stem appear from Garbhodaksha Vishnu's navel?
How it came out? Well, it is like a miracle, came out from the navel, just like sometimes some magician do some trick, right? It's God himself, he can do such miracle thing. That is the process of creation of this material world.
And how did Brahma appear in that flower, in that
He wanted somebody in this material universe to create, to help him further create. So without having someone, how can he create this material universe? So he created Brahma.
was the first person?
Yeah, Brahma was the first person in our material universe. After that, everybody came, and we will learn about that also as we go on.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
You're welcome.
The next one is Srinath. Srinath, please unmute yourself.
Is Brahma the son of Lord Vishnu?
Brahma is a son of, you can say Vishnu, Because Vishnu is also another name of Vishnu is Krishna. So Krishna's expansion is Vishnu. So Brahma is son of Vishnu.
Okay.
The next one is C's iPad. C's iPad.
I have a question. So how did Vishnu's son, when it was all dark at first, how did Vishnu create the universes?
He creates his universes. The Karanadaksha Vishnu, from his
This one.
you know, where we have a skin, holes in our skin, right? Where the hair grows, you see that? So
Yeah.
yeah, he creates it by his internal potency. The Lord has three potencies: internal, external, and neutral. So from his internal potency, that is the power he has. So he is emanating, or he's uh, from this skin pore, you know, the holes of the skin, all universities are coming out. They're small, and then as they go, they become bigger.
Okay.
Okay.
The next one is Vanshika. Vanshika, please unmute yourself. The next one is Vishakha. Vishakha, please unmute yourself. The next one is Amruta. Amruta, please unmute
Yeah.
yourself.
So how did Vishnu exist? I don't know if you're told, but I came late.
How does Vishnu exist? That is the nature of Vishnu. Vishnu pervades everywhere. He exists everywhere. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji. The next one is Charani. Please unmute yourself. Do you have any question?
Yes.
Okay, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Can Brahma make other gods?
Brahma cannot make another god, but he can make the human being, he can make the animal body, he can make the insect body, you know, he can make the fish body. So all these things he can does. Yeah, he created 8,400,000 different bodies, in which, you know, some bodies a human soul inhabit, sometimes fish, sometimes animal, birds, like that. Got it?
Okay. The next one is Kalyani. Kalyani, please unmute yourself.
Hare Krishna, you said that Krishna's perspiration make up the universal oceans. So are you saying that our oceans, like the oceans that we have today, is all Krishna's perspiration?
No. This is the Garbhodak ocean is in this big universe where he has made that thing for him to lay it down. That is not the ocean that we see here. Okay?
Kalyani, do you get it? Okay, so should we take another one, Prabhu? Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, should we take another one?
Yeah.
Okay. The next one is Sanvi. Sanvi, please unmute yourself.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, my question is that who created Vishnu when Brahma is created by Vishnu? He's a
Vishnu is not created by anybody. He is eternal. Nobody needs to create him. He was there to begin with.
Oh, Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
The next one is Shlok. Shlok, please unmute
My
yourself.
question is that when
when Brahma and Vishnu were created, was Shiva the third? I have like two questions.
No, Shiva was born later from Brahma.
And my other question is that if if Vishnu was a creator of Brahma, then Brahma is his son. Then is Shiva Brahma's son?
Yes.
So is he like the grandson of Vishnu?
Yes.
Okay, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you.
You're welcome.
The next one is Krishna Chaitanya.
Prabhuji, can you say the three miseries names again?
Yes. One of them is Adhyatmik, Adi Bhautik,
Adi Bhautik,
yeah, Bhautik, and Adi Daivik. Got them? Adhyatmik, so you know the meaning of each one, right? Adhyatmik is related to body or mind. Adi Bhautik is given by other living entities. Could be any. Maybe your neighbor can harass you, tiger can harass you, serpent can bite you. They're all living entity. We are all living entity. So like that. So many living entity you can get misery from. Then Adi Daivik is natural misery given by God's nature, like hurricane, windstorm, earthquake, too much rain, flood, like that. You got it? Okay, next one.
The next one is Ovi. Ovi, please unmute yourself.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, can you explain how Mahavishnu is born from the second Sankarshan?
No, Mahavishnu was Garbhodakshaya Vishnu born from Mahavishnu. Mahavishnu born from the second Sankarshan. Remember I explained Krishna was sitting in the spiritual world and he thought of expanding himself. So the first expansion was Balaram. From Balaram there was Chaturvyu, one of them is Sankarshan. From that Sankarshan there is another Chaturvyu, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, Vasudev, and from that Sankarshan Mahavishnu came. And from
Tell me, Mahavishnu takes so many forms of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu in millions of planets. So how do even Devatas take those many forms in each planet?
yes, you're talking about this material, the bubbles. You see how many that the bubbles are like millions. So there are universe, and in each universe there are planets. In our universe there is 14 planets. Yeah, Earth is one of that 14 in which we live. Earth, and above Earth there are 6 planets, and below Earth there are 7 planets. So 7 Earth, 6 and 6, those 14 planets are there. In maybe something, other planets and everything. So this creation is like beyond our imagination. It is inconceivable. We will not be able to imagine this thing.
So Krishna, made like so many Brahmas and like so many Indras, so many like forms of the Devatas.
Yeah, yes.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah,
Hare
and
Krishna.
and Indra, they are like a post, okay? Just like president post, the Brahma is a post, and it keeps changing every millennium, you know. Cycle of creation, maintenance, and annihilation means destroying this whole world is keep going on. Just like we see the seasons, spring, summer, winter, come and go like that. Okay, day, night, come and go like that. So it's a cycle of creation. It is created someday. It is maintaining right now. One day it will destroy, and then there will be another creation. This the creation process is same that we discussed today.
Thank you, Prabhuji. The next one is Radhika and Ishita. Radhika and Ishita, can you unmute yourself? Do you have any question, Radhika and Ishita?
Yes.
Please go ahead.
And why did Vishnuji make Brahmaji, or Brahmaji got made by himself?
Brahmaji, what? I didn't get it. Can you repeat it?
Did Brahmaji get made by himself, or Vishnuji wanted him to get made?
Vishnu want to make Brahma.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The next one is Jhalak.
So,
Prabhu, should we-
so this is the last one. And then if you have any questions tomorrow, join early. So before the class start, those who have a questions remaining, they should join early tomorrow. We'll answer this. This is the last question that we will take.
So, did Brahmaji make trees and plants?
Yes,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Prabhu, actually past 1 week we didn't take the Akshar's portion, and might be they is not coming to early also. So should we take a little early to question for him, or should we take by tomorrow?
There's more questions?
Only one question, Prabhu. Akshar will ask for
Okay.
1 week, but it's
Okay, go ahead.
Akshar.
So, you said that that the Brahma created around 8 million bodies, but there are like more than 7 billion people on Earth, and that's more than 8 million.
So the species has nothing to do with population. You know, species means like different bodies. Okay. So for example, human body, bird body, animal body. Okay. So yeah. So this like in the city, you see some apartment houses, like there are 10 building maybe. So there that many apartments, and then people go live in there, right? So so Brahma makes all this like empty apartment like that, you know, body, and then because this soul enters, Kshirodakshaya Vishnu is a super soul. So when soul enters, super soul goes with it. So that is how people are get a lifestyle. Otherwise, it is a dead matter, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I have another question. You said like there are 14 planets in our universe, but like there are like other solar systems, and some solar systems have more than 14 planets.
The solar system is work on a universe base. Like there is a one for each universe. There is a solar system.
Because like already in our solar system there are 8 planets, and there are also other solar systems in this universe.
So I didn't get it.
So like in our solar system there are 8 planets, and there are also other solar systems in this universe.
So this universe, one universe has only one solar system.
But like in the science books, I've seen that there are more than one solar system in this universe.
Oh, the universe.
Yeah.
Where did you see that?
And I saw it in one science show, science
Okay.
book.
I will check on that. I'm not sure. I will check on that. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, as far as I know, there is one solar system.
That is planet, Prabhuji, might be the Pluto, Mars. Aksha, this is a correct? Which you
Yeah,
told?
like in our solar system, there are 8 planets. And
Yes.
there's also more solar systems in this universe.
The solar system, sun is also a planet. So in each universe, like Earth, Sun, Moon, Jupiter, they are all planets. So
Yeah, but the sun is a star. The Earth and Jupiter, Saturn, they're all planets.
yeah, the sun
But
is all,
like,
yeah,
there's more than 14 planets in this universe.
more than 14 planets. Yeah,
Yeah, and you said there are 14 planets.
14 planets, but one of that planet is also, I mean, yeah, the solar, okay, 14 planetary system they call it. Okay, it's like Earth, but we getting light from the sun, right? So there is another planet.
Oh, but like, I'm saying like, our solar system has 8 planets, and there's more than, so there's like, there might be like hundreds of solar systems in this universe.
Yeah, okay. So I'm not, as far as I can see, those all planets is the unit which is in the universe. So if you take, let's say, one universe, there are so many planets, okay, which includes Earth, which includes Sun, Moon, Jupiter, like that. So that is what my understanding at this point. What you're saying, I will check on it and I'll let you know tomorrow.
Sun, I thought sun wasn't a planet. I thought sun was a star.
Well, Sun is also planet. Sun, planet, Moon, planet, they all planet.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. So thank you so much, Prabhuji. We will take over.
Okay, so yeah, I'll have to go for another class, so we have to probably stop here.
Yeah.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for
Tomorrow.
class.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.